forward then, 2023, what I have found helpful is to actually get a notebook and to make it kind of a dream notebook where I'm noticing what I want more of in 2023. And sometimes I'll include in there things I don't want to take into 2023. And so it can be a really powerful practice. And as I've been journaling and kind of reflecting, a few things that have bubbled up for me. One is the value of generosity and just wanting to make sure that the things I think about, the things I want to create, that I'm sharing. The phrase that keeps coming up for me is I don't want to die with a bunch of stuff on my phone drive, a bunch of pictures on my phone drive, and a bunch of writing on my Google Drive. And so what that means for me is finding ways to share more of those snippets with the world, whether it's a poem or a paragraph or a question or even just a phrase, to harvest and look at the storehouses of what I'm creating and what's encouraging me, and then making sure that I'm sharing that with people. So that's one thing that's kind of bubbled up in this. The other thing that's bubbled up is I want, as I go into 2023, as I start my 40th decade, the decade of my 40s, I want to learn to be more honest. And this one's uncomfortable to share because we all like to think, oh, I'm honest, I'm already honest. And in many ways I am, but there's this side of me that's the people pleasing side, partly because of how I was raised, moving around a lot. And maybe you can relate to this, there's this deep desire for people to like me, to get along with me, to be friends. And so the invitation of being more honest this year means still being kind, still caring about people, that's not changing, but an invitation to not suppress and hide uncomfortable feelings as quickly or I mean, to some extent we have to, like I can't walk around being a mess and then have Eli deal with that. So there's wisdom here, but also just if I have a negative emotion, not feeling the need to like stuff it and hide it, but being more honest with myself about what I'm feeling, where I'm at, being more honest with God about what I'm feeling, where I'm at, which interestingly enough will be a part of book 3 of the Write with God series. So those are just some invitations that I'm sensing for myself as I take that time to reflect back and then actually creating a space for myself to dream and think, like, what do I want 2023 and the new year to be? And I found it powerful not just to make a list of tasks and things to do, but to really think about who do I want to be? What values do I want to embrace? And then the last thing that's helpful, and I may talk about this in more detail later, but I also pick a word for the year. And the goal of the word for the year is to give me a lens and a word that becomes a conversation between me and God. So this year, my word was play. And so anytime I saw the word play in writing or in scripture or in a devotional, it just made me kind of perk up a little bit and kind of ask that question, God, is there anything here that you're wanting to teach me, to show me? And it gave me a lens to kind of look at my life and also think about what things are feeling playful, what things are feeling heavy, and kind of discern through that. Overall, this year did not feel very playful to me, but having that word gave me some great conversations with God and deeper growth because I had this kind of lens and value that I was continuing to examine throughout the whole year. And so looking forward to 23, my word is rest, which I don't love rest. I'd rather be busy and productive and not rest. But again, I'm sensing God inviting me to slow down with Him and to rest in the fact that I'm loved and I don't have to prove anything or earn anything. And so again, this word rest becomes a conversation over the next year for me and God, and for me to wrestle with, what does rest look like in my life? What does it mean to rest in my identity? And the millions of little branches and ideas that come off of that. So that's my encouragement to you today is this month, I know the holidays get very busy for some of us, but if you can even find 10 minutes, 15 minutes, do a little reflecting back, and I'm going to give you a tool to help with that. Do some dreaming, some journaling for the future, and then maybe think about picking a word for the year. And if that's something that feels fun for you, that you feel could be beneficial, I have loved doing it. I can't remember, it's like my 6th or 7th year having a word of the year. So yeah, that is my encouragement for you today. So fun to see you here live, Lisa. I love it. For those of you watching the replay, don't forget to tell us what you are celebrating. And with that, my friends, remember to stay curious and keep writing.